The lights of Ridgeway High's grand ballroom shimmered like diamonds scattered across the dark, velvet sky. The prom night everyone had been waiting for all year had finally arrived. Music pulsed through the air, laughter echoed from every corner, and the smell of expensive perfume mixed with excitement and teenage dreams. But for one girl, Lena Moore, tonight was not just another prom night. It was supposed to be her moment. Her first dance. Her first real memory of being accepted after months of being the quiet, overlooked girl in the corner of every classroom. Lena had always been different. Not in the way bullies like to label, not weak, not strange, just quietly powerful. She moved through the halls with books clutched close to her chest and eyes that held storms no one dared to understand. But being different in high school often meant being targeted. And for Lena, that target had a name, Chad Winters. Chad was everything she wasn't. Captain of the basketball team, rich, confident, and cruel in ways that only someone born with everything could afford to be. He had a smile that could melt hearts and a laugh that could ruin reputations. And his favorite pastime? Making life miserable for anyone who didn't fit his perfect little world. Lena had been his favorite victim since freshman year. It started small, snide remarks, whispers, fake smiles in hallways. But as the years went by, it grew darker, meaner, crueler. Notes in her locker calling her names. Rumors spread that she was obsessed with him. Photos edited, voices mocking her when she walked by. She tried to ignore it. Tried to stay strong. But the truth was, it hurt. She had cried alone more nights than she could count. And yet, every morning, she showed up, head high, eyes forward. Because deep down, she knew something they didn't. Lena Moore wasn't ordinary. When she looked at herself in the mirror that prom night, she barely recognized the reflection staring back. Her long dark hair framed her face in soft curls, her deep blue dress shimmered like moonlight on water, and her eyes, they glowed with something fierce, something unbreakable. Her mom's voice echoed from downstairs, "Sweetheart, you look beautiful." Lena took one last look at herself and smiled. "Thanks, Mom. Tonight's the night." Little did she know tonight was the night. But not in the way she expected. The ballroom was electric. Couples danced, laughter burst in waves, and the world felt alive with youthful chaos. Lena walked in slowly, her heels clicking against the marble floor. Heads turned. People whispered. For a moment, she felt seen, truly seen. But then came the silence. The sudden hush that always follows before the cruelty starts. Chad Winters stood near the stage, his tuxedo sharp, his grin sharper. His arm was draped over his girlfriend, Tiffany Hales, the queen bee of Ridgeway High. When his eyes caught Lena's, that grin widened. Well, he muttered loud enough for those around him to hear. The library ghost finally decided to show up. The group around him laughed, fake and cruel. Lena ignored them and walked toward the refreshment table, pretending not to care. But inside, her stomach twisted. She had promised herself she wouldn't let them get to her tonight. She'd smile, she'd dance, and she'd prove that she was more than their jokes. But Chad had other plans. Hours passed. The DJ announced the prom queen and king nominees. Unsurprisingly, Chad and Tiffany won. The crowd cheered, cameras flashed, and Lena clapped politely. But as Tiffany gave her fake teary speech and Chad took the mic, he smirked, and that smirk told Lena trouble was coming. He looked out into the crowd. "You know, every prom has a surprise, right?" he said into the microphone. "And this year, we thought we'd have a little entertainment." The lights dimmed. The projector behind him flickered on. Lena's heart stopped. On the screen appeared a video, a cruelly edited clip of her from weeks ago, filmed without her knowledge in the school library. She had been crying after failing a group project thanks to Chad's sabotage. But in the video, they'd added mocking captions, "Crazy girl in the library." Laughter erupted, her breath caught. The room blurred. Every face turned toward her, laughing, whispering, recording. "Come on, Lena," someone shouted. "Smile for the camera." Her chest tightened. Tears stung her eyes. She wanted to run, but her legs wouldn't move. Then, as if fate wanted to twist the knife deeper, Chad said into the mic, "Hey, Lena, don't worry. Maybe next year you'll get prom queen, if we even remember you." The crowd roared. That was the moment something inside her snapped. She turned, stormed out of the ballroom, and into the cold night air. Her heart pounded in her chest. Every breath felt heavy, sharp. She walked into the parking lot, the sound of laughter echoing behind her. She gripped the railing, her knuckles white. For a long time, she just stood there, broken, humiliated, invisible once again. But then, she smiled. A slow, terrifying smile. Because in that moment, she remembered who she really was. Beneath the pain, beneath the quiet exterior, Lena Moore wasn't just some ordinary girl. She had a secret, one that could change everything. Her father had been a top cybersecurity engineer, a man whose inventions were known only to government agencies. Before his sudden death, he had taught Lena everything he knew: hacking, encryption, data manipulation, and revenge, if necessary. She had stayed silent, patient, invisible for years, because she had been waiting for the right moment, and tonight, they gave her that moment. Lena returned home, her dress still shimmering under the moonlight, her face streaked with tears, but her eyes, oh, her eyes were burning with purpose. She sat at her desk, turned on her computer, and opened a series of encrypted files that no one but her could access. Code scrolled across the screen, green and endless. "Let's see how you like being humiliated," she whispered. She started typing lines of code, passwords, data strings. Within minutes, she broke into the school's server. From there, Chad's email, Tiffany's phone, their group chats, all opened to her like unlocked doors. She found the videos, the voice messages, the hidden files where they planned the entire prank. And she didn't just download them, she traced them back to their personal devices. One by one, she gathered evidence. Photos of Chad cheating on Tiffany. Messages mocking teachers. Screenshots of fake grades his father had paid to adjust. Everything. By 3 a.m., she had it all. And she had a plan. The next morning, Ridgeway High's online bulletin board exploded. Dozens of screenshots flooded the students' phones. Videos of Chad's lies, recordings of Tiffany's cruelty, proof of their manipulations, all leaked publicly. Chad's face turned from pride to panic. His father's job was questioned. Tiffany's college scholarship got suspended. The same crowd that had laughed at Lena now whispered about them, but Lena wasn't done yet. Her revenge wasn't about destroying them, it was about showing them what real strength looked like. At school that day, she walked through the hallway, quiet as ever, but now every eye turned toward her with respect, with fear, with awe. Chad stood by his locker, eyes wide, face pale. You did this," he whispered. Lena looked at him, calm and cold. "No, Chad. You did this to yourself." And with that, she walked away. But what no one knew, what no one could know, was that this was only the beginning. Because Lena's revenge had set something much bigger in motion. Something that would not only destroy Chad's world, but uncover a secret far darker.